What's good? This is your girl Divine Karma coming in with a message on today. How y'all doing? I send you peace, light, love, and harmony, as I always do about this time. Why? Because Divine Karma loves you, baby. I just came from the gym, so excuse my attire. But y'all know I've been kind of MIA on my social media a little bit the last just like a week and a half. I thought it was gonna be a few days, but after that last full moon, I told you I've been in a real different kind of energy. So Um, I was on the treadmill watching Forbidden Knowledge with Billy Carson and what's the brother name? The Moore. Is it El Bay Shanif? I can't remember his name, but anywho, I've been getting downloads like crazy because I've been in this energy, and I said this before of you know thinking I should be further along, and all of us go through this, thinking I should be further along. Why aren't things happening? And Spirit speak to me, through me, and for me. I was sitting in a car, and the divine, who you may call God, I call it the divine, asked, Kamitra, divine karma, why do you keep asking us for things, right? Like what? Why do you keep asking us for things? You know, And I was like, well, I'm, trying to manifest what I want, the things that I want in my life and da 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 da. And the divine source said, why don't you try asking us for the codes? And I was like, ooh, try asking us for the frequencies to what you want. And, I got this energy, everything in the universe, from source to whatever, is all mathematics, right? Sacred geometry, numbers, angles. I learned a long time ago. uh, law simply means the length, angle, and width of any and all energies, right? So I was like, wow. And I always talk about a book that opened my, it's like, I call it one of my Bibles, is the Sophia Code, right? Probably I've had that book a while, so I got notes and sticky things like highlights, and it's somewhat of my Bible. And it teaches you, there's a lot of divine feminines in there that teaches you codes on how to change your life, how to reprogram your DNA. And they teach you the key codes in there. Mary Magdalene, Hathor, or Hathor, however you want to say her name. Who else is in there? Kuan Yin is in there. Isis is in there. Um, Green Terror is in there. Like, it's amazing. But the divine was like, ask me for the codes. Ask us for the codes, divine, and the frequency. And then it said, divine, most people, and this is, it kept saying, and because I wanted to say, you about to tell me this most people problem. And it said, no, this is most people's stagnancy is they don't understand. And I want to say he, but I don't believe God or source is a he, but it said, and I don't believe it's one person, or one entity, but it said most people operate in their whole life, and this is the number I got, between two to six frequencies. Those are and frequencies as in channels. Most people, it said, operate their whole life or existence between two to six the same frequencies. through their whole life, anywhere from 2 to 6. So what do you mean? They operate in the frequencies I wish I had. They operate in the frequency of focusing on lack, what they don't have. It said a lot of times, most people, the major frequency that most people, their whole life, embody and operate in, right, is the illusion of time. And it said because within that illusion of time is multiple frequencies, and they get stuck there because with that frequency comes, I talk about this all the time as well, regret, thinking about the past, what you should have did, what you could have said, what you all da 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 da, right? And then the future. I need to do this, I need to do that. I wish everything about the future, right? Which is attached to this programming of death, with which it spoke on as well, instead of living in the present moment. Because the frequency of the present moment, right? It is not included in this it's separate. It's like an extra, it extracted itself from the illusion of time and just left the past and the future, because the present moment, that's a whole different frequency, right? And spirit was saying most people operate between 2 to 6. This is the number I kept, 2 to 6 frequencies. And you get stagnant because you've been programmed to think these are the only frequencies you're supposed to be operating in. And you have to ask for things and want for things and try to manifest within these 2 to 6 frequencies through your whole life. And most people never seem to realize the unlimited frequencies, geometrically speaking, the unlimited frequencies. And most people live their life in that 2 to 6 frequency: poverty, lack, I wish, illusion of time, grief, sorrow, whatever, not thinking you're good enough. There's so many, right? This 2 to 6. Death was in that frequency, and the programming that we've had about death. I said, well, divine, I know, and I speak on a lot that I know we don't die. Death isn't real, right? And it said, true, facts, divine. But most people also think that death has a frequency. And it said, explain to me how death can have a frequency if it doesn't exist, divine. Because if everything is a cycle, including life, including, yeah, when we leave this jacket, it's just an extension, we go somewhere else, and everything is nothing but a cycle. Because when your cycle comes to full circle, what happens? The cycle just doesn't stop, and the cycle ends. It's a new beginning. Death doesn't have a frequency. But people have been programmed to attach themselves to a frequency that does not exist. I'm just sitting in the car like, okay, source. And it said, divine, stop asking or trying to manifest in the energy and frequency and vibration of something physical, because You want something physical, whether it's money, whether it's a house, whether it's a car, but the divine said that's where you're stagnant at, because the thing itself, the physical thing itself, doesn't have a frequency per se, right? It's like an illusion of a frequency, because I can't explain, mentally how it came. Sometimes you want the knowledge, but here's the thing: stop asking us for the thing and ask us for the codes and the knowledge and the frequency, the codes to the frequency to have it, because it's already in you. And it said, and I speak on this too, and it reminded me, Source did. When people come to us and pray, whether, you think the divine is a he, she, it, Donald Duck, I don't care. But Source said, when people pray or meditate or come to the divine, come to us, they are asking for something. And it's an insult, divine, because you, all of you, were created with the tools and the knowledge for everything you could possibly fathom, that to think that you want in this world. Anything. You came equipped with that, right? So it's an insult, Source said, to ask us for a thing when all you have to do is ask, can you please remind my soul and remind me of the knowledge, the frequency, the codes to the said thing that I want. When you come to the divine or God, whoever Source is to you in that frequency, it's like God saying, oh, you do remember that I gave you all the answers. You do remember all the knowledge is inside of you. You do remember. You just need, the codes to get back to that frequency. Yeah. And your soul is going to step in and be like, oh, yeah, because remember, they humans, divine. So on their soul contract, all of them, agreed to, that's part of the package. They don't remember, you know what I'm saying? And those that do, they, chosen ones or whatever, and people like myself, spiritual, we get to this pivotal point in our life, right here where I'm at right now. And I know this might go over a lot of people's heads. Like I said, I'm trying to explain it the best way that I can. But it told me. And when spirit speaks to me, it has a sense of humor, so to speak. But it's just like, stop. Why are you asking for? Ask for the codes. Ask for the frequencies. Ask for the knowledge to be. Ask for the switch to be activated. And I was sitting outside and I'm looking at the trees, and the divine was like, look at the leaves on the trees. And I'm looking. They know what they are. They have the codes. They have the frequencies. it's like, but you humans, you want me to give you a thing. You want me to give you a house. And spirit was like, it's almost comical for me that people come and pray and get on their knees and ask me or ask us for a thing. Oh, I need this job. I want this job. Oh, I want this house. Oh, I want this relationship. Oh, I want this. I want that. It's not how it works. And then Source said, and then they get mad at us, right? Or me, the frequency of the creator, whatever you want to call it, when it doesn't happen. Because you're asking me for the wrong thing. It's like divine karma, you know better, right? You know better. And shortly after, uh, Kali Ma showed up. When Lilith and Kali show up on the scene, it's like, and if you don't know who these, goddesses are, these entities are, do your homework. Because some people have a really, they bad, and I'm just not for me. I asked them to keep me protected, every day, Kali and Lilith, because they gangsters. I like gangster goddesses and entities, and not that they bad, but they, I ask them to keep me protected. Anybody that come my way is on a spiritual attack. You got some folks, you got some people you got to deal with coming at me. So not sure after that conversation, Kali showed up and said, Divine, we put in your soul when you was asking 5 or 6 years ago what you should call yourself. And we gave you the name, told you to call yourself Divine Karma. So this is true, Kali. Now that the divine has spoke to you, it's Kali speaking to me about frequency. This is the second time I've had Kali and Lilith ask me this, like within the last 6 months. Give us, her and Lilith, the list of people that you want justice, not karma, as she told me, not karma. We're not asking you, give us a list of names of people you want something bad done to. She said, give me and Lilith the list of names of people that you want justice and for your karma account to be balanced. This is the second time I've had them ask me this, right? And I'm just like, Kali, what are we doing? Just like, did you not just understand, overstand, and understand the conversation that you just had with the divine? I did. She's like, okay, frequency. I'm asking you, Lilith is asking you for the frequency, for you to remember the frequency of justice. You have the right, divine, for your karma account to be balanced. And sometimes, in order for that to happen, you can ask for justice. And that's not you asking for anyone to be harmed or anything bad to happen to someone. Everyone has the right to ask, I want justice. And not from the frequency of I want something bad to happen to someone else or harm to come to someone else. It has to be in the energy of I want justice for peace for my soul and to balance my account out, because I need to be in the frequency of balance and harmony. And Colleen Lilith said, everyone has the right to ask that and to have it done. She said, so I'm going to need that list. I'm going to work on the list tonight. It's been another interesting day. I am finding myself, I gave myself 2 years to wrap up this, working for somebody else ordeal. But I have a real feeling that yeah, that's gonna get done sooner than later. So I told you all this to say this to you. If there is something that you want when you meditate tonight, when you pray tonight, or whatever, whenever you talk to spirit, ask for the frequency, ask the divine for the codes. And when you ask, come in the energy of, I know that you already gave it to me. I came equipped with the knowledge. My soul is asking for remembrance, for that switch, for the codes and the frequencies to obtain the things that I desire. And you can also ask Kali and Lilith, if you are fit, it's you. I'm telling you, they told me everybody has the right to ask for justice and balance, and not in the frequency of harming someone else, but if you need justice and balance and peace in your life because of some situations with people, whether you were in the wrong or they were in the wrong, or whatever the case may be, ask them. Ask. Even if you don't want to say their names because I ain't into all that, just put it into the ethers, right? Because I'm sure Kali and Lilith, if them ain't your people, they'll get the message to the right people, right? Just ask. This is why I share so much, because when I do things and spirit gives me things, I believe everybody's a medium. I believe everybody has the same gifts that I have. People just don't use them, and they don't tap in from programming and people telling them it's the devil and whatever else. It's your gift. It's my gift. So that is my message on today. I will probably jump back into readings. I got a little itch today, right? But then, yeah, I got to the gym and stuff transpired at work, and I ended up on the phone even after trying to get on the treadmill. Just ended up with a crisis at work. So I love y'all. Shout out to my best friend that I grew up with, Dana Johnson Brown, who called me the other day and yesterday AM, and just said some good things. She watches me and was just telling me, you really are inspiration to people. You have really found your calling, and it meant so much, especially when I've been in this kind of not funk, but just really kind of, falling back and trying to listen to spirit more. But it felt good, especially coming from someone I've known since I was a teenager, right? And coming from her, and I know it's genuine because, I know her. So thank you, my dear friend. So I'm going to get off here. I'm going to take me a shower, and I'm trying to mentally prepare myself, I think, I want to do a 30, but it might be a 2-week fast of nothing but green juice. I've been really studying Yaki, Awakened a lot. I think that's his name. And yeah, I need to push myself to the max when it comes to health. So, all right. Y'all know the drill. I love you, and I love it when you love me back. And I'll be back to the readings, and I'll be back in full swing in a few more days. I told y'all the other day I was at about 85%. I'm about 93% right now. All right, but a few more days, get myself grounded, and just keep talking to God, and let spirit keep talking to me, and we gonna keep moving like that. All right. I love y'all. I see y'all soon. Peace.